Good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. I am your host, Aaron, the house person. And of course, this is the place you come to find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how you can use that loan to help create, build, and sustain generational wealth. So, last week we went over one step. Hopefully, you guys took notes and have that same sheet of paper readily available so you can take notes this week. All right. So let's jump right into this week's lesson, this week's step, and see you on the other side.
Hey, what's going on, good people? Excuse me. Sorry about that. Aaron, the house person here, program director of the 203K Done Your Way program, where we economically rehabilitate the community one house at a time, and we do so by educating you about the 203K loan and process, and then walking you through that process from start to finish, helping you to get to the point where you can create, build, and sustain generational wealth. Right? That's the in my opinion, the main purpose of that situation. What's up, Pop? So, all right. So, last 4 days we talked about the steps. First is to hire a realtor. Right, the 203K Done Your Way process. Darren, what's going on, brother? 203K Done Your Way process of getting that ugly home and making it pretty again. So step one was to hire a realtor. Now, of course, if you are a current homeowner, you're not going to, start at step one because you already got the house, right? Step two, go ahead and hire your lender. All right, realtor lender. Excuse me. Step three, if you're a current homeowner, you're going to skip it. But step three is to go house shopping, right? Step four is to get those rough estimates, and you can do that a few different ways. If you have that 203K realtor, that person who's experienced, they can kind of come in there and maybe eyeball some things and give you a rough estimate to see if it even makes sense from the standpoint of after repair value, which is the value of the neighborhood after it's in its fully renovated state. So after repair, after renovation value, ARV. Maybe if you have no idea, maybe you go ahead and get the consultant in there and get you a feasibility study done to see if it even makes sense. I don't necessarily advise spending money if you don't have to right away, because remember, you don't have the property in control. You're not in control of the property yet, so you may not want to start spending any money. Maybe you get a contractor out there with the free estimates. So those are a couple options, but you get your rough estimates in in step four. You're also going to be reaching out to those consultants and contractors to try to get somebody lined up, so that way when you're ready, you can hit the go button. So step five, once you have your rough estimate, right, is when you make your offer. That's when you try to get this property under contract. Now, we're in an extremely aggressive market if you're a buyer, and it's not a lot of inventory at the moment. But that being said, there's still houses out there available. But you're going to get some competition, more than likely. Not that much, because most people don't want to deal with the ugly houses, which is what gives you an advantage. And your main competition is going to be investors. And most investors, if not all, they're not trying to pay full price. So you have an upper hand, at least a little, because you'll be able to offer more than them. But the downside is the 203K process. Most lenders will tell you, hey, put 60 days on the contract. Give us at least 60 days in order to get this thing closed. Now, if you got all your team members in place and they doing what they need to do, nothing much, brother. How's everything going? But if you got all your team members in place, they doing what they need to do and working as a well-oiled, fine-tuned machine, then it may not take you the entire 60 days. And, that's a great thing. But on your contract, go ahead and put 60 days and just work to close before that. So getting your house under contract, making that offer, and again, your offer is based off of, one, your pre-approval amount, right? But you wouldn't have looked at the house if it didn't make sense. And the reason you looked at the house is to see, okay, can I get this based off of the ARV, based off my pre-approval, and based off of how much work I think needs to be done in this particular property and what you plan on doing with it. Because remember, FHA allows you to buy a 1, 2, 3, or up to a 4 unit. So I've been telling folks, like, if you can maximize that loan, 3.5% down for 4 doors. Of course, one of them you're going to be living in, but you got the other 3 doors paying the entire mortgage, possibly even putting cash flow into your pocket. And if you're living somewhere else, now the money that you was spending on rent is coming back into your pocket. So you're getting cash flow from a unit and you're saving money from where you were living before. Great situation. But that's step 5, y'all. Put your offer in, get under contract. Maybe because of the way things work out, you can actually offer a little more than what they're asking for, just to make sure your offer is accepted. Because remember, 203K allows you to go 110% of the after repair value. Do you want to do that? Maybe you don't, but maybe you do, in order to get that property. So that's one of the things that kind of is like a saving grace. It gives you a little bit, like I said, a little bit of an upper hand over those investors who are going to be offering lower. But yeah, man, that's step 5. Get that house under contract, get control of that property, and good things will happen from there. Because from there you get to go to step 6, and we will talk about, what's up, Jose? And we will talk about step 6 tomorrow. Now, be sure, because I got to tell you before I roll, be sure to tune in every Tuesday, 7 o'clock, at the 203K Done Your Way YouTube channel. We got the industry partners, those starting 5, right? That 203K starting lineup that I've been telling y'all about for a while. I have them on the show, talking to those different experts across the country, and getting their experience, and at the same time also interviewing them. So maybe you're looking for somebody in this particular city. I've been to New York, been to Arizona, virtually, right? But been to Puerto Rico. So I'm putting together a list of people all over. So when you're looking to get that 203K done, you can just give me a call and I'll let you know who I know. Been to Indianapolis here recently. So, we're putting it together, man. So, 203K Tuesday, every Tuesday, 7 o'clock on the 203K Done Your Way YouTube channel. This week, we're heading down to Texas, Houston, Texas. So be sure to tune in this Tuesday at 7. And, while you're there, make sure you subscribe. Go ahead and ring that bell so you don't have to try to think about whether or not you remember to tune in at 7. It's going to send you that reminder. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. Just make sure you're real strategic with your offer. And again, if you're working with that 203K experienced realtor, they're going to be sure to help you out with that process and get you in the pocket. And if you need a second opinion, you can call me for that as well. I'm here as a resource for you guys. And yeah, that's what I got for you, man. So y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for step 6.
All right, guys, there you have it. And there it is. Step 5, make an offer, get under contract. So one of the things you want to keep in mind, right? Because again, your highest competition, as far as ugly houses are concerned, are going to be the investors. So it's different levels of investors as well. So you got your low level investors, and I don't mean low as in like they like bottom of the barrel, but low as in income not as high as the higher level investors. And I'll get there in a minute. So the low level investors are the ones that you see every day, right? The ones at the local RIAs, real estate investor associations, the ones that are just in the area picking up those properties, the We Buy Houses guys, right? Those people. But then you have the higher level ones, which are your hedge funds, which are the ones with the deep pockets, right? And they're snatching up property as well. They're snatching up property that you don't even know is available for sale because of those connections. Unfortunately, like if you try to buy a house through a bank, you got to go through a process. You got to go through their REO department. It got to be listed through realtor from the standpoint of it has to be widely marketed, right? So from that standpoint, it's typically listed with a realtor. But a lot of those bank-owned properties that the hedge funds buy aren't property that ever hit the market, So, like I said, higher level investing. They kind of can make their own rules. But I digress. This is about you making an offer and getting your offer accepted. So investors typically use a formula called MAO, M-A-O, not make an offer, but maximum allowable offer, right? The most they can offer for that particular property. In that formula, MAO typically at its root and real basic formula is MAO equals ARV, after repair value, minus your budget, right? Your renovation budget, right? That is the basic level of MAO, right? But most investors don't stop there because they got to back out more costs in order to make sure there's profit. So one of the things they back out is profit. How much profit do I want to make? All right, let me back that out of the MAO price. So prime example, let's say the ARV is 200,000. They're going to say, okay, ARV is 200,000. It's going to cost me 50 to fix it up. All right, so we're down to 150, right? All right, I want to make 25,000. So now we're down to 125. Now I have some holding costs. It's going to cost to cut the grass. It's going to cost to have the lights on and the utilities, things of that nature, right? It's going to cost to buy. It's going to cost to sell it, right? Those are the other things. I got to stage it. I got to get it clean, So some of those costs don't apply to you as somebody who's buying as a homeowner versus somebody who's buying for profit. So in that scenario, they took away the 50 that it's going to take to renovate it. They took away the 25 that they want to make, right? So from 200, take away that 75, that puts you at 125. They may add a couple more figures in there and come to find out, you know what? I think the most I can offer for this house is about $87,921, right? Whatever. You coming in as a 203K buyer, well, you're not looking to make profit, right? If I can get some equity, great. But you're not looking to immediately see that profit. You're going to really see your profit from paying down the mortgage. And if you're getting a multifamily, you're going to see that profit from your tenants paying down your mortgage. So you're getting that in the form of equity. Of course, appreciation as prices increase, that gap between what you owe and what the home is worth. Also, that gap is called your equity. So your equity position is going up from you paying it down. So you started here, you're paying it down, right? In addition to that, it's going up because of appreciation in most cases, because, sometimes the market tanks and then you're not appreciating, right? You got to wait for the cycle to go back around. But that's how you get your profit. You also get your profit from just living in a home nice and comfortable. You don't necessarily need to realize the profit like an investor does right away, so you can kind of get that delayed gratification over time. But yeah, so that's kind of what you guys are up against. Those investors, their numbers are a lot lower, so that gives you an advantage because you can offer more. Where they would have offered 87,921 or whatever number I said, you can come in and say, look, I will give you 127. To a seller, even though they got to wait a little longer to get that money, I wait a little longer for 41,000. Yep. And I know you'll have, for the most part, you'll have no problem getting the property because of the type of financing that you're using. So, because that's what this financing is for you to purchase and renovate or refinance and renovate. So, but yeah, that's step 5, y'all. You're going to make your offer, get your offer accepted in order to go to the next step, which is step 6. And we will discuss that next week. See you guys then. Signing out.